woofing, diddling, wardering. I am Radwald, King of the East Angles, son of Woofer, son of Diddler, son of Woden. Welcome to Tamworth Castle to celebrate the coming of the Staffordshire Hoard. I shall now hand over to Steve, who will say some more words in the old language.
I'll just give you the first few lines from Beowulf in the original. Skuld skjæving skjædene threatum, monnechum maidum meldul settler of ter, så det erle sittan arstweth fairshapfunde. That's what it sounded like in the 7th century. In the 21st century, it's I've come to kill your monster. So I hope you all have a good time this evening. I'm sure you will. And I hope you can enjoy both the physical attributes, the physical magnificence of the Anglo-Saxons and their oral culture as well.
Because as you can imagine, when news of this happened, we covered it extensively on Midlands Today, and we were out stomping around in that field in Staffordshire, in the mud, filming it all, talking to the farmer who found it, and it was the most extraordinary thing. But then, of course, it became rather worrying because other people wanted it and we needed it to stay in Staffordshire. So, and also I come at this from a slightly different angle because I have another job in my life. I'm chairman of the Birmingham Assay Office, where we test and hallmark precious metal. I tell you, we would have loved to have got our claws on some of this, to just test some of the gold and have a look at it and really see what it was. However, I was lucky enough to be in the Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery when the amount of it had been, which had been sent to Paris. And I think they just were assessing it there, and they also, they did say it was garnets and pearls, and they were garnets and pearls, the gemstones that we used. It had just come back, and that was in the conservation area in BMAG, and I just looked at it and I couldn't believe the work involved on it. And as Mark said, the Dark Ages, he has actually told me now the Dark Ages are those because we have no papers from that time, but we do have lots of artefacts. And when you see this, you will realise how skilled people were. And the head of conservation said to me, she said, the trouble is, we don't know how they made it, because tools rarely survive. And I suppose tools were handed down father to son until they broke or wore out or whatever, and then another set, but they aren't the things that survive. And you will wonder when you see this just how they manage that, those skillful little garnets beautifully encased in gold. It's just absolutely fabulous. I'm also terribly pleased that it's taking place here in the county in which it was found. I did not want it to go to the British Museum, I can tell you. And we were very supportive, I'm glad to say, at the Assay Office to help raise the money to keep it here, which was good. And it's lovely that it's come back to Tamworth, and you know it's Anglo-Saxon, and there's a lot, as Mark said, this area is Anglo-Saxon very much. This is where it should be. Now the exhibition consists of the 40 top pieces, and I think, well, you are going to be overwhelmed by it. And this is actually the last time the Hoard will be seen in this country. It is going to the United States until about April next year, I think, isn't it? So it's on for 3 weeks here, so tell your friends, they've got to come. It's important, you know, they're not going to see it again for quite a long time. What was the other thing I wanted to say, really? I think the United States, once we tell them, explain to them what Anglo-Saxon times are and were, they should be really in awe of it, because anything that's over 200 years is really ancient to them. So, you know, this is very important. As I say, tell your friends and get here quick. Now, the team here at Tamworth have actually sort of gone one step further, because they commissioned a replica helmet, sword and a shield to be made by Dave Roper, who is a master craftsman of Saxon. He's there, aren't you, Dave? Sorry, I haven't met you yet. But anyway, he is a master craftsman of Saxon period arms and armour. I believe you made that helmet. Is that right? That magnificent Sutton Hoo helmet. Fabulous, absolutely beautiful. Well, these pieces are unique, and they are actually, the reason for that is to help everybody's understanding of these fragments that have been found, you know, in this field in Staffordshire, but also to rather, you know, give you an idea of the wealth of the Mercian kings at the time. Now, one of these kings was King Penda of the Mercians, and he was probably the most powerful king in 7th century England. Although as far as I can see, we mostly just went around killing people, but then I suppose that's what you had to do to make sure you stayed king, didn't you? But he's, I would say actually, he's here tonight, isn't he?
He is indeed, yeah.
He's promised to behave, and he's going to show you these beautiful things that have been made specially. And I did say to him, he can't nick them either. He's given them back. But here he is with this welcome King Penda of the Mercians.
I bid you all a good eve and welcome to Tamworth, capital of Mercia. Shortly, you shall all be invited down to the Great Hall to view just some of the gold, silver and jewelled artefacts. Please feel free to ask any questions while you're down there. So ladies and gentlemen, would you like to follow me? We shall go down to the Great Hall and view the exhibition.
Hang on, Penda, can I just officially open it? I declare this exhibition, and I'm delighted to say, officially open here in Tamworth.